What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be covering the second topic, if you saw my last video, of most commonly asked things. So I am commonly asked about my handboard obstacles. If you guys missed it, go look at the last video and don't forget to subscribe. But today I'm going to be going over my camera setup, my multiple camera setups, and my editing software, which a lot of my stuff is way more basic than you guys think. So, number one, the most obvious, a lot of the Instagram stuff I do is either filmed on my phone or this GoPro sitting here. I don't know if you guys can see it, I'll hold it up in a second. This phone is a Samsung Note 5. I am not a big phone head. I don't believe in spending $1,000 on a phone because it's entirely pointless to me. So I had an S3 that I used for a very long time. It was a present and I loved it, but it didn't have slow motion. So it got me looking into other phones, but it was going to be a while before I bought one. And then one of my coworkers was selling this Note 5 in mint condition for $200, which is half the cost of it new. So I bought it from him. He's a good friend. And it works perfect. The slow motion looks beautiful. The camera looks amazing. So a lot of the slow motion on Instagram you guys see is on this phone. The next camera, and I'm going to do the ones that are easier to film on first because I'm filming with my big camera right now. So this one is my GoPro. It is a Hero 4 Sessions. Everyone's like, whoa, you know, you got the slimmest GoPro, that's great. The only reason I got this is because this is the cheapest GoPro you can buy. When I originally wanted to get a GoPro, it was about 2 years ago, you still could find online a GoPro number 2, second generation, where it had a monitor. It was the bigger one, and that was $120. But those have seemed to fall off the face of the earth. I'm sure you could find them, but I wasn't able to, so I did some research in that, and I found out the cheapest place to get it was Target, actually. It came out to $149.99, so with tax, maybe $155. And while that seems expensive, it is actually the cheapest camera I have. Now, this is great for action shots, exactly what it should be used for, and it's great for handboarding because it gets the first-person view. Only thing I don't like about it is, even though it has such a wide angle, built-in lens, like a very, very wide angle, it gives me black lines, the only downside, and there's no way to scale it to a full screen. So even though it is full screen, there's still the black lines on the sides, and you guys probably do notice that in the videos. But that is my only complaint about it. It works great. I guess the only other complaint I have, but still, it's not the biggest one, is there's no monitor on these. I actually have to log into a fake Wi-Fi signal that the GoPro gives out itself, and it's Wi-Fi, so in the sense of Bluetooth, but under your Wi-Fi settings, you sync your phone with it, and your phone is then your monitor. The only issue is if you sync your phone with it, you cannot use any of the buttons on the camera. It only allows you to use the buttons on your phone then. So that's kind of a pain. What I usually do is I go through the process of syncing them. I check and make sure the angle on my head is really good, and then I will unsync them. And then, so I can just hit the button on top once. Because when you're at a skate park, you usually either have your phone on you, but I've never been a skater because this thing is heavy. I'd never skate around with this in my pocket, and I'd be scared to break it. So I usually kind of like zip it up on my backpack with my stuff so no one bothers it. So I just check the angle quick, and that's that. And we're going to get on now to my big camera, which I'm going to have to switch to filming on my phone real quick. I was going to do it on the GoPro, but I don't feel like using the GoPro today. Also, that battery's insane. That battery charge lasts forever. I charge it maybe 10 minutes when I'm transferring footage, but besides that, I've never charged it. That thing works beautifully. But I'm going to set up my camera on my phone. So this is a Canon T6. It is a really good camera. I really like it. I used to use a T3 that was lent to me by my girlfriend, and by lent I mean I used it for over 2 years, until I had enough money to buy my own, and I got the T6, which is 3 generations newer. The only difference between the T6 and the T6i is that there is no fold-out LCD on this, as you guys can see. So Canons have this issue with just turning themselves off or stop recording randomly, and it will give you a message, Canon has stopped recording, which makes literally no sense. But without the fold-out LCD, sometimes I don't realize that. I've gone through full unboxings without realizing that the camera has shut off. And if I do an unboxing, something important, I usually tape a mirror on a wall behind it, so I can just see the red light. But this is what I primarily film stuff on. Handboarding a lot is attributed to the GoPro now with first person, but for a long time I've used Canons. I have multiple lenses. I have the lens that's on it right now, which is just a 18 by 55 millimeter wide angle lens, and I have the exact same lens also. This is just this one from this camera. I have the one from the other camera because my girl has her own personal photography camera, and we really don't touch the T3 anymore. The only thing I took from the T3 was the battery from it. Now I have 2 batteries, I have 2 chargers, as you can see down in the corner down there on the wall. But I also have a fisheye attachment. It is a little bit cheaper than the actual fisheye lens itself. It was a present, and I really like it. It works really, really well. I have a handful of other accessories, like down here, this box is mostly just GoPro accessories that I really don't use. But so that's my camera. I'm going to turn this camera off, go back to this camera, and we'll move to the editing software. Okay, so now we're on my computer. It is a Dell Inspiron. This computer's about 10 years old. It was a gift from my chickie, and I absolutely love it. I'll probably never upgrade until this thing explodes. But as you guys can see down here, let me focus the camera. You guys can see down here there was 2 editing softwares. I used to use just Windows Live Movie Maker, and I liked it. I actually really did enjoy it. But it just stopped working one day. And I rebooted the computer, I did everything under the sun, I deleted and re-downloaded it, but it didn't work. So the one I use now, I think I opened it. The one I use now is the tab that was above it, which is Movie Studio Platinum. So I'm going to refocus. So now that we're focused once again, because it keeps unfocusing, this is what a finished video usually looks like to me. I have up here all of my clips, over here a preview screen, and then this is all of the editing down here, if you guys can see the mouse. This is Sony Vegas 13, is the true name of what purchasing it is, if you get the box. So I can edit DVDs and I can edit this. Because after my Windows Live Movie Maker went, and I could no longer use it, there was 2 weeks where I didn't post a video, and I was getting like aggravated. So I bugged a guy named Chandler so friggin' much that I think he was losing his mind, because he kept saying Sony Vegas 13, look for Sony Vegas 13, and on Amazon that's roughly $300. So I bugged him enough for him to send me a link to it, and I got it for $27, even. Free shipping, free tax, everything, $27 even, and then this is what I ended with. So this works very well. The only thing I have a complaint about is time lapses. On Windows Live Movie Maker, I could time lapse at 64 times, which means for every 1 second, I can move it to be 64 times that fast. So basically, we'll say, to make this easy, I can do 1 minute in 1 second. So a time lapse looks really good. On this, I only can go 4 times. So what I have to do if I want to do a really fast one, which I haven't yet, is I have to put a clip in, times it by 4, save it, add the clip in again, times it by 4, and build it up like that. But since this is such a better editing software, the save takes so much longer. It roughly would take a 10-minute video, 10 minutes to save on Windows Live Movie Maker. This takes about 3 hours, and that's just the nature of it. So I'm going to turn the camera around now and finish this video. If you guys have any other questions that I did not answer for you, please leave them down below. If you have any trick requests or any video ideas, leave them down below also. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up and hit that notifications. I post 3 days a week. And as always, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And make sure you, as always, have a great day.